Naked people are doing the nasty at the beach again. Story time. Me, my mom, my little sister, and my boyfriend went to the beach. We were having a very, very nice day until my little sister, keep in mind, she is 14 years old, sees this couple having sex on the beach. And no, I'm not talking about the drink. So at this beach, they had cute little logs and sticks to make a fort. And there were forts all over this beach. Well, me and my family are chilling in the fort. And my little sister randomly looks at us and she's like, guys, that doesn't look right. We all look over and see this couple getting down and dirty. So my mom takes my little sister on a walk while me and my boyfriend were going to confront these little nasties. But fortunately, we didn't have to because this group of teenagers walked up to the couple and started going off. As they should. Whole time I was sitting in the background like, period. Anyway, someone please tell me why I'm always with my little siblings every time I see naked people. And if y'all happen to see this, you know who you are. Get a room next time. Nasty.
Storytime about how I found out that my boyfriend was trying to get with another girl on Valentine's Day. Okay, there's a lot that goes into this story time, so let me break it down for you real quick. I was a sophomore and my boyfriend and I had been dating for about 4 months now. And he was a junior. Well, there was this girl that he was for some reason obsessed with in his Spanish class. She was a freshman, and I know you're probably thinking, oh, well, how did you know he was obsessed with her? Well, he would Snapchat this girl 24/7. Even his friends told me he was obsessed with her. So I talked to him and I told him I was uncomfortable with how much he was talking to this girl. And he said, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'll block her. Now, I didn't ask him to do that, but it made me feel more confident in how he felt about me. Well, Valentine's Day comes around. And we didn't talk all day until he came to pick me up. I wished him a happy Valentine's Day and got left undelivered. So we get to the restaurants and we decide to put our phones at the end of the table so that way we would be more focused on each other. Well, he goes to the bathroom and then I see this name pop up on his phone. Like for part 2.
Part 2. So, like I said, I saw this name on his phone, and there was something special about this name. So, whenever I kept streaks, I would put the word streak, and then an emoji, and then the person's name. And he got the idea that instead of keeping her name, he would put it as streak. So I was like, that's really fucking weird. And at first I was like, what the fuck? So I opened his phone, and what do you know? It's from that girl. And she was replying back to a big paragraph that he sent her. And we had school that same day. So at 6:30 in the morning, this girl got a big paragraph from my boyfriend about how she's such a beautiful, amazing girl and that she deserves somebody who's going to take her out and buy her flowers and stuff. And how if she wanted to go out to dinner, let him know. He took an extremely long time in the bathroom, so the waiter came to our table. So I ordered $300 worth of food for myself. So when he came back, I told him that I had to go call my mom, and I left. And he was stuck with a $400 bill.
Storytime about how I broke up my best friend and his girlfriend. So it was our sophomore year in high school, and my best friend and I had known each other since we were like 8 years old. And I've always had a crush on him. Like anytime he would get a girlfriend, I would try and break them up. And it would work. Well, our freshman year of high school, he started dating this one girl. Well, when he started dating her, he distanced himself from me because she didn't like how much time we were spending together. So a few months go by and my birthday's coming up. And mind you, within these past few months, we only seen each other like twice. And he had me blocked on all social media. Well, our parents were really good friends because we lived in the same cul-de-sac. So my mom invited him and his parents to my birthday party. So at the end of my party, my friends left and him and his parents stayed. And my parents really didn't care if I drank alcohol, so we had like a whole bottle of vodka to ourselves. So we're in the basement and we're taking shots together. Well, I got him super drunk, fell asleep. And while he was sleeping, I went on his phone and like for part 2. Part 2. And I was able to get into his phone because he still had my fingerprint from when we were best friends. So I unblocked myself on all social medias. And there was an ottoman pushed against the couch. So while he was sleeping, I was able to go lay next to him. So while I was laying next to him, I took a few pictures of us. And I saved them in his camera roll. And I also sent one to his girlfriend. And it was about 1 in the morning. Well, she opened it right away, and then she started going off and would not stop calling his phone. So after that, I turned his phone off. So he started to wake up, and then we started drinking more. And then we started fooling around. And while we were doing the nasty, I took a video. But he didn't see it because the phone was in front of me. And I had his girlfriend on Snapchat. So what did I do? I sent the motherfucking video to her. So the next day, obviously, he found out what happened. So then he came over to my house to talk to me. And I told him how I was upset that she was keeping him from me. So he broke up with her and started dating me. Extremely toxic best friend story time. So when I was in 8th grade, there was this boy. And this boy would go around telling almost every girl that he liked her. And I was one of those girls. And he would do stuff with all of us. And there were like 11 of us. So we all hated each other. Especially this one girl, and we're gonna call her Abby. And every time we saw each other, we would be super mean to each other. Well, a year passed, we stopped talking to this kid. And I bumped into her at homecoming and basically apologized. So after that, we became best friends. And everything was good until every time I told her about a guy, she would start talking to them. Like this one boy that I was Snapchatting and talking to, she accidentally sent nudes to him and said, "Oh, sorry, I meant to send them to my boyfriend." So then she called one of my other best friends and said, "No, it actually wasn't an accident." And of course he told me because he was my best friend. So I was like, whatever.
One time in school we were learning math and I was bored because it's math, so I asked the teacher to go to the bathroom. On my way there was this cute guy who walked past me. I decided to be bold and talk to him. He was nice enough to walk me to the bathroom. I finished using the bathroom and walked out to find him leaning against the wall. I told him I would be fine walking to math class alone, but he insisted I go with him somewhere. I was confused and curious, so I went along with it. He took me to a janitor's closet, and when I asked why he took me here, he just looked down and whipped out his.
One time I had this boy that I liked over at my house to watch the Emoji Movie as a joke for our first date. We were eating lunch and sitting in 2 separate chairs. We were having a really nice time making fun of this awful movie and finally got to the end of it where all of the emojis are having a dance party in the club together and doing the godforsaken emoji pop. Then the guy I'm watching the movie with tells me to look at the elephant emoji in the back of the scene doing the dance with his ears. And I laughed so hard looking at how stupid it was, that I pissed my pants. I didn't want to explain the fact that I peed my pants to this guy, so I had to ask my crush to go downstairs with no explanation while I cleaned up the chair I was sitting in and changed my pants. So he stayed downstairs by himself for like half an hour as I washed away my shame. A few months later when we started dating, I told him I pissed my pants on our first date, and he said he knew all along, but that he didn't want to embarrass me for pissing my pants laughing at the fucking Emoji Movie. One time my boyfriend came over and we decided to do the dirty. Anyways, it was great, but his phone was in his pocket when he did it and he accidentally somehow but dialed 911. We were getting down and dirty and everything was going swell until we heard knocks on the door very aggressively. We thought it was the dog making noise outside the door until we heard a man yelling to open the door. We both got dressed really fast, went outside, and saw it was the police. I was scared because I thought they found out that I stole a bathing suit from Target, so I started sobbing. Then they asked what was wrong and I couldn't stop crying, so my boyfriend asked why they were here, and they explained they got a 911 call and heard yelling on the phone. I immediately stopped crying and ran inside the house of embarrassment, and my boyfriend just said everything was fine, then closed the door. Right after he closed the door, he heard laughing from the police, and now we know that they found out we were having sex.